Now we have with us in our studio Steve Edmondson, the Managing Director of Poseidon Outer Reef Cruises and Sail Away Low Isles, which operate premium day reef experiences from Port Douglas in tropical North Queensland. Now visitors can experience adventure diving and snorkelling on the Agincourt ribbon reefs on the edge of the Coral Sea, and sailing and snorkelling with turtles around Low Isles just off the coast. Now, Poseidon and Sail Away also won the National Eco-Tourism Award in 2012 for Best Practice and Sustainability. Well done. Now, the reef is one of the world's most spectacular natural assets. What educational opportunities are there for visitors, Steve? And welcome, by the way.
Thank you, Gillian. It's fantastic to be here. It is all about the reef, but what we try and do is tune into what people might expect. Our market and visitors are with high expectations because we've got wonderful imagery of the Great Barrier Reef from TV documentaries. So to be able to go and deliver that experience is very important to us. So the way we do it is small personal experiences. Poseidon is outer reef, but again, it's really for people who are going to get into the water. We do feel this is a really important message that people who would actually go into that environment take a very deep and meaningful understanding of how fragile it is. It supersedes anything you can do by watching TV.
So you really encourage that connection when people go there so they can understand the sensitivity of the region.
Exactly. We really target those people who are responsible travellers who are actually going to seek something where they're going to get a deeper experience. So the knowledge they will gain from a marine biologist, whether they're just beginning and are snorkeling for the first time with a noodle, maybe a cinematographer who's dived all around the world, but somebody who will go actually into the water, that's really where we focus.
And you go out to the outer reef, as I mentioned. Can you tell us the difference between what you see on the outer reef and the reefs which are closer in?
It's a really good point, Gillian, because most people go, oh, I don't know, they both look fantastic. So we have more than one day. It's never too much to enjoy the Great Barrier Reef. The outer reef, obviously, you're going to get better visibility, spectacular coral formations. With Agincourt, it's right on the edge of the Coral Sea, so it's as good as it can possibly get, and that is on the ribbon reef. So we do actually 3 different sites during the day. Gives people a chance, and it'll always be the one favourite one. With our Low Isles, that's the closest part of the Great Barrier Reef to mainland Australia and first place for coral research in the world. That means you can actually sail to a beautiful island, and it's more of a gentle start. And again, we try to say this is the type of offering, which do you fit in best, and then really look after them and deliver that experience through authentication of seeing what's going on for real, and maybe snorkeling with a turtle for the first time.
Because it does take a while to get out to the outer reef, but gee, it's worth it. It's so beautiful.
Well, the boat, we sailed around the world. That took 5 months. To sail to Low Isles is only 1 hour. To the outer reef, it's an hour and a half. So you do go on a larger, faster boat to get there. In fact, Low Isles being so close, you can actually just get there within an hour.
And Low Isles is what you imagine of that perfect tropical island, isn't it? It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's an unspoiled coral cay. It's quite significant, the fact that the lighthouse from 1878, Captain James Cook was running out of names then, but Low Isles and Woody Island, that was in the offing as good as it got. So it's a lot of history there too.
And ecotourism and responsible travel, it's a great trend that's really taken off in the last few years. Tell us about some of the eco experiences with your tours.
Well, the very fact being small and personal, you're going with a really qualified professional marine biologist. You've got Eye on the Reef program that we've been discussing during the day. Very important to be able to give research and data back to Gbrmpa. It's a partnership role in giving high standard of experience, safety, and the service and the information you're actually going to get by going to this location. Same with Poseidon, the outer reef. That's the Minke Whale permit. Amazing stuff that we've talked about today that you've highlighted of the diversity of experiences you can enjoy in Australia. And this being iconic attraction in Australia is the Great Barrier Reef. There's something for everybody.
And I must point out at this point, Gbrmpa, which some people have been using today, the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority. It's easy to say Gbrmpa, isn't it? Or maybe not.
I got it.
How often do your tours depart? Do you go every day?
Yeah, every day. Yeah, we actually, it's scheduled all year round, but it means that you're enjoying a lot of other diversity, from the rainforest, the much sort of interesting activities, from a mountain bike to a helicopter. It's all there, but you can actually, with a day trip, enjoy all of that, and the destination of Australia. So those people who might come for 2 or 3 weeks will include that as part of an itinerary.
Now, as I mentioned before, congratulations on winning the National Eco-Tourism Award in 2012, just last year. Can you tell us a bit about the idea of best practice and your best practice?
Well, the way we see it is we want to actually take action and have engage with our philosophy. And without trying harder or anybody spending more, we include a carbon offsetting within our ticket. So for the last 3 years, we've done that with Sail Away. With that project, we've actually been planting 15,000 trees in the last 3 years. We've got nature corridors joining up World Heritage Rainforest to Creek. We're growing our own biofuel diesel trees to be able to grow our own fuel. We don't use much on Sail Away, obviously, because it's an authentic sailing experience, and we're actually continuing to do that with Poseidon as well. So we want that educational message we talked about earlier, that somebody's actually participated in that by really choosing an ecotourism product with a high standard. And as a responsible traveller, ecotourism we feel is growing, and that's where we're really just specialised.
And you're putting your money where your mouth is, so to speak. You're putting money back into the environment.
But we don't let anybody. We never confuse. It's a fun day on holiday,
yes.
But the engagement of the delivery of experience when they've chosen to finally get here and made that investment, what they'll get out of that, and they've actually, without knowing, participated in very important environmental projects that can grow as that develops with time.
So why do you think responsible travel is so important, particularly on the reef?
Well, I think it's really important that we really question what kind of legacy we want to leave. I've got 2 young kids. We do see that very front line of what is going on in the marine park. We have a beautiful conditions, but I do have my own concerns in the future. So rather than talking about it, we've put that into practice. Tourism itself is really the best way to protect the Great Barrier Reef. It's people who are engaged with it. It does matter. People do care, and their opinion or vote or responsibility and their own actions they take is really important for the big picture.
Absolutely. Now, you're a leader in ecotourism in this region. Tell us a little bit about the variety of tours. We mentioned some of them before, didn't we?
Yeah, well, what we try to do is just specialize in a particular area. So people who probably want to get in the water. It's not suitable for somebody who would be too scared or doesn't really want to get wet. There's many different ways you can enjoy the Great Barrier Reef. For us, it's really that opportunity to educate by being in the water. But we also, have a glass bottom boat, like at the island. We have a heritage walk around the island, a little museum, the lighthouse, pretty amazing from 1878. So that's old for us history in Australia. These are the ways that with only a small number of people, 33 people on Sail Away, it's a really small personal eco tour, specifically targeted certain people, but deliver more with the high expectation.
There are a number of issues affecting the reef, including global climate change, water quality and coastal development. How is your team responding to these challenges?
Well, with the mandatory carbon offsetting, we're growing our own fuel. We're using that not just because we can't change the world, but what we can do as a privileged position is really inspire people that just having fun time on holiday, they go back home, they've got different practices and considerations in their own lives, and realize that it's actually so accessible. We're all part of the same place. It is a global challenge we have, and anything with awareness and appreciation is our goal as an operator, as a high standard.
And tourism has changed, hasn't it? And there's a stronger awareness of ecotourism and protecting it for everybody, isn't it? What's the reaction from locals by the work you're doing?
Incredibly positive. I mean, we're all people who live up here, and we're very lucky to live in such an amazing, beautiful tropical environment. They've all fallen in love with it. We've all come from somewhere else, but there's a really engagement with how we do protect our future and the environment that we live amongst, and showing it off to everybody around the world, which is really important.
Because tourism has a very important role in protection and conservation.
Absolutely. It's really the whole strength of making sure you're protecting it for a reason is the people involved, and that tourism is engagement of that amongst the nature.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I've talking about different ways to see the reef. I took my 2 daughters out to the outer reef last year, and it takes the hour and a half to get out there, and they thought they were in the middle of the ocean. They were quite terrified about hopping in the water, and then when they got in, it was unbelievable. Absolutely changed their perception and changed their lives. It is so beautiful, and you're really lucky to do what you do, aren't you?
I am, and it can be addictive. So once you've started that little engagement, you've just done an introductory dive, suddenly you're locked in forever.
Okay, thank you very much. Stay with us, Steve.